All right, and we're going live. So I'm Andrew Hereford, and I want to talk tonight about Difference Financial. And actually, before I get started, I do want to give a shout out to Ryan. How are we doing tonight? One of the few people on here that I do know, which is pretty amazing. So I'm going to start a little bit about me. I'm an active duty Navy. I'm in a thing called EOD, defusing bombs, nothing too crazy. But the cool thing is I'm in a great part of my career where now I'm an instructor. And I get to give back, and I get to teach the next generation of people, which is pretty cool. But the really amazing thing is I'm teaching people how to make life and death decisions every single day. But not only can I do that, but it's brought me to my true passion, which is teaching. So that's what got me into Difference Financial. And it's going to take me a little bit to bring up the PowerPoint, so bear with me. Technology is a little bit crazy. But what I do want to talk about is today we're going to talk about not only who we are as a company, but where society is, where we are as a country. And one of the biggest problems in the country that is honestly just killing families silently. And then not only am I going to talk about what the problem is, but we're going to give a solution to the problem, which is pretty amazing. All right, so my computer's a little bit slow. Bear with me, it always happens. So we are Difference Financial, and not only is the name Difference, but we are out to make a difference, which is pretty amazing. And there's a pretty picture with an ooh and an ah. So what I want to talk about in America is, here is a flash picture of most of America. One of the biggest problems that we have is credit cards. Debt is absolutely piling up every single day. It's because families are trying to keep up with the Joneses. They're buying things they don't want to impress people they don't even like. How amazing is that? So the average household, if you read this pretty thick page, is $16,000 in credit cards. That's just credit cards. That's not cars, that's not personal loans, that's credit cards. And you might be thinking, how is that possible? Well, it's easy. The ease of money is ridiculous. The access of it is absolutely easy. And that leads right into the second, which is poor saving habits. Back in the 70s, I remember even in the 90s, my parents always told me when I was a little kid with my paper out that I needed to save 10% of what I made. And like I said, I had a paper out, so it wasn't much. But they used to save 10% of everything they made. Well, now people are not saving that much. And the reason being is, once again, it's the access of money. And now what people are doing is they're paying the bills, they're buying all their stuff, they're doing everything they want to, and then at the end they're like, you know what, if I have money left over, that's when I'm going to save. That's the time. Right now, no. But then, yes. And so because all you have to do is swipe a card, it is so easy for people to get into debt. So that's why we're at negative 2%. And that easily leads right into the third one, which is insufficient retirement planning. I mean, who really wants to plan for retirement? I mean, that's future Andrew's problem. That's not current Andrew's problem. And because of that mindset, right now, your average person from aging 20 to 50 years old is going to have anywhere from $25,000 or less in their retirement account. Yeah, 50 years old, less than $25,000 in retirement. How long do you think that's really going to help them out? And it's that insufficient planning that's just, we're doing one big old circle, one big old vicious cycle that's putting us into a bad economic state. And all of that just leads right into the final, which is so many families are just unprepared for those unexpected changes. Like in the winter, when they're running their heat and the heater goes out and they have a family to protect and it's incredibly cold and there's just nothing they can do. The heater went out. They have no money set aside. They're not prepared, so they just charge on their credit card. And that's what equals that $16,000. Or maybe it's the summer. Maybe they're in a place called Florida where it's incredibly hot and even more humid. And it's August and their AC goes out. Or maybe the alternator in the car goes out. We can play this game all day, but the the same end happens. They are not prepared. They don't have that cushion set up. So what they end up doing is swiping that credit card. And so like I said, right now, there are so many families that are just hurting. They're just needing that light at the end of the tunnel, needing something to help them out, someone to help them out. And that someone is us, DFIS Financial. Now, you may have heard of Morgan Stanley. You may have heard of all those amazing companies. But what they do is they help people with assets. They don't care about people who need to get out of a bad situation. They care about people who are in a good situation, a great situation. But who is looking out for the people who need it the most? So we decided at DFIS Financial, we're going to come up with 6 steps, 6 simple steps for healthy financial habits. 6 simple steps to create a very healthy, very strong foundation for you and your family's future. So the first one to start out with is something that many people don't like to talk about, and it's establishing proper protection. I mean, it's inevitable. People are going to die someday, but we don't like to talk about it. Because we don't like to talk about it, typically people don't like to plan for it. But what happens to your family if the worst happens? What if you're the breadwinner? How can your family survive? Now we're going to make it a little bit more fun. Now in your garage there's this magical mystery machine. Now, not the Scooby-Doo mystery machine, but this machine, all you're going to do is turn it on and off every single day, Monday through Friday. That's it. Turn it on. At the end of the day, turn it off. And every single year, this gives you $60,000. $60,000 for you and your family. That's it. On and off. Magical mystery machine, they're not even solving crimes where you take off masks. You're not. Now, wouldn't you protect that with something just in case it breaks down? So even if it does break down, you're still going to have that money coming in. Well, most answers is yes. And the second one is increasing cash flow. So to do that, first we need to figure out to the penny what is coming in and what is coming out. Because in so many families, they kind of know what's coming in, but they honestly have no clue what's going out. They don't know what all their bills are. They don't know how much they budget for groceries, how much they budget for entertainment. And don't even get me started on that daily vice, that Starbucks coffee. Or for me, it's that, was it Annie Ann's pretzels that you get at the malls? Oh my gosh, I love them. But the problem is that $3.82 adds up. That, was it $3.70 or $4.40 for that venti upside down crazy, oh my gosh, drink that you get at Starbucks? I don't really know because I don't get it. I drink black coffee. But it's that daily vice that you get every single day and don't realize how much that actually adds up over the days, over the months, over the years. And so that little less than $5 charge is going to absolutely make a huge impact. So what we'd like to do is sit down and find out to the penny what's coming in and to the penny what's going out. And are there any leaking holes in the ship? Anything that can be plugged? Anything that isn't really necessary for you and your lifestyle? And then after we do that, and if you're open to it, we talk about additional ways to earn income. Because who doesn't want that? And one of the third ones, and the one that absolutely makes us stand out as a company, is establishing that strong credit. What we do, and what I've done with absolutely many families, is sit down and do a debt elimination strategy. And all that simply is taking all the debt they have, plugging in this amazing calculator, and it shows exactly what you're doing right now when you'll be out of debt. And all it does is shine a little light at the end of that tunnel. And then not only do we do that, we don't even stop there. What we're going to do is show you 6 different strategies and find out what the best strategy is for you and your family. And we're going to make that light shine brighter. And what I mean by that is that can sometimes drastically move up that out-of-debt date. So instead of feeling like you're over your head, the waves are just crashing down, there's no way out. There is a way out. There is a plan. And then not only do that, but we also help credit restoration. We help you, we hold a hand, we call the companies, we do everything it takes to help bring up your credit score. And that's what sets us apart about the other companies. They don't care about the situation you're in. All they care about is when you're going up, are you going up with them? But what we care about is how can we help the people that need it the most? How can we make the biggest impact in America? Well, that right there is one of the biggest reasons how we can. Or ways, I believe is a better word. I'm not going to vocab, so please bear with me. And the fourth one, as we discussed earlier, is creating an emergency fund. And all this is when that AC or that heater or your car goes out, or maybe right now in America, people losing jobs. You have something to protect you. And if you read below, it says you should save at least 3 to 6 months' income. So I'm giving you a very harsh truth right now, a very vicious reality. There are right now Army officers who just got a pink slip. A pink slip that's saying, when you get back from deployment, your job is done. In the military, you are done. And everyone kept saying, hey, join the military, join the military. That's one of the safest places possible. Well, they're actually cutting back ridiculously. And absolutely everywhere they're cutting back, even in my job. And when it gets to the point where they give pink slips to deployed Army officers who are in combat, like not only do their wives, do their families have to worry about the stresses of deployments, but now they need to worry about what's going to happen when he gets back. Not only is he getting back, but he's getting out. Not by choice. And that's the military. Now let's talk about everywhere else. All the other jobs are getting absolutely cut. Cut because brick and mortar is going away. Our society has become much more efficient, and we want it fast, we want it now, and everything is online. Even right now, us talking, our presentation is online. And there are people all over the states. I believe I counted 5 different states right now on this webinar. How amazing is that? But let's get back to the story. So, creating that emergency fund. Now, creating an emergency fund is not like that New Year's resolution. You're not going to do it fast and right now. What it is you need to build up the muscle. You need to start slow. And if all you can do is $10 a month, then let's start there. Then after we get used to that, 3 months, 4 months down the road, let's move it up to 20, then 50, then 100. Because what it is a healthy habit. It's something that you need to ease into. Because if you try to go, oh, I'm going to save $5 million a month, it's not going to work. You don't even have that. Even if you want to go like 500 and you never saved a penny in life, it's just not going to work. We need to start small and build our way up. This one absolutely scares me. So right now I have a 1.5-year-old and I have no clue what college is going to be like when he is ready. I don't even want to know. But the greatest thing is there are plans out there so I can start now. I already know that I hope my son wants to go to college. So I might as well plan for that. And then the final one, my absolute favorite, is your assets. Your retirement account. What assets do you currently have? Not only that, but don't you want them to last? Don't you want them to be protected? So we showed how to help with the taxation. We showed how to help protect the gains from that crazy unpredictable market. We also show ways that you cannot, in any way, shape, or form, outlive your retirement accounts. Some that have lifetime income. How amazing is that? And then you might be thinking, oh my gosh, hey Andrew, that is way too good to be true. But it's not. I'll break it down in the next couple slides, and it's incredibly easy. So right now I want you to think, of these 6, which of these would you like more information of? Of these 6 steps, which ones could use more help with your life? Which ones can help you and your family build a healthier, stronger financial future? And please, right now, on a piece of paper, just write it down. And whoever invited you on here, please get back to them. The reason being is, Difference Financial, what we do is we meet with families and we put together a plan based on what you want to learn more about, complimentary. And we give a personal, customized plan just for you. Because there is no size 8 shoe for anyone's future. No one size fits all, no hat with the little plastic clips, nothing like that. Every family has different needs. Every family has different goals. And what we like to do is show simple ways that are not going to change your lifestyle on how to achieve those amazing goals. How great is that? So one more time, just what are these numbers? Please write it down because we're moving on to the next slide. So this is one of my most amazing slides. Now, there's two things in life that are absolutely true. You're born free and you're taxed to death. So when you earn your money, it's taxed as income tax. When you spend it, it's taxed as sales tax. When you save it, oh my gosh, they hit you with capital gains tax. And when you die, they hit you with estate tax. But you don't know, you're already dead. So you see three different columns with three different colors. What these are the three IRS tax codes. If you have any sort of account, anything like that, it is going to be one of these tax codes. So we're going to start with the red one. It's your taxable code, or a zone. So this is money you earn, money you save in your bank, and a money market account, and a savings account, something that you invest in CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. And how this works is the bigger it gets, the more you're taxed, and you're taxed proportionately. So when it grows, your taxes are going to grow, and you see those awesome tiny little bubbles or circles. But you see how it is proportionate. Now we're going to move on to the blue zone, your tax-deferred zone. Now most people's retirement accounts are in this. And that's going to be your 401ks, your 403bs, your IRAs, for my wonderful people in the military, your TSPs. And how this works is when you invest your money, it is tax-free. You put it in tax-free. How great is that? And not only do you put in tax-free, but it's going to grow tax-free. And it's going to keep growing tax-free until you need the most. When you need every single cent possible is when it's taxed. And it's taxed as ordinary gains, or as ordinary income. And so I've talked with many families, including my own. They're like, you know what? No, that's totally fine. I know I'm going to get taxed when it's the greatest it is, but I'm not going to pull out that much. I'm not going to make that much. But the fact is, if you want to pull out $60,000 for retirement, you need to pull out $73,000. You need to pull out way more than you thought. And we've already established that most people 20 to 50 years old only have less than $25,000. So how can that prepare them? How can that get them there? And that's the state, that's the situation a lot of people are in. And then we're going to move on to my favorite zone. This is your tax advantage zone. And this you can find in Roth IRAs, Roth TSPs, cash accumulation inside of a life insurance contract known as Index Universal Life. So how this works is you've already been paid. They've taxed you with your income tax. And then you're going to take that well-earned, hard-deserved money and you're going to invest it for the future. That's future Andrew's money. Not his problem, his money. And since you're already taxed on it, now it's going to grow. And it's going to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's going to keep growing tax-free. And then when I need it the most, it's going to be there for me tax-free. Every single cent for me. And the way I like to put it is, right now, picture yourself, you're a farmer. You have 3,000 acres. And you're going to get taxed. Would you rather get taxed on the seeds or the harvest? Now, I, for one, would go with the harvest. But some people are like, Andrew, I'm going with the seeds, because what if my harvest doesn't grow? Well, isn't that the same as your retirement account? What if that doesn't grow? What if the market crashes? But for one, I'd rather get taxed on the seeds. So how amazing this slide. This slide gives you so much information. And some you may know and you may not have known. So now we're going to give you a couple more options. We're going to talk about these three different avenues. We have A, B, and C. So we're going to start with A. This is what a lot of people utilize once they got near retirement age, and they took their huge, amazing nest egg and threw it in to either a certificate deposit or one of the security bonds. Because back in the day, especially in the 70s, they're making anywhere from 5 to 8%. So if they had a $1 million nest egg, and again 5 to 8%, they could easily just live off the interest. But now, our interest rates are less than 1%. Or if you've had it for a while, maybe 3.5%. And the problem is we have this thing called inflation, which is over the last 10-year average has been 2.5%, but sometimes upwards of 4%. So if you're getting less than 1%, you're losing money every single year. And then we're going to move on to B. B is where most people have the money. That's in the market. In the market, it goes up, it goes down. It's a huge, vicious, wild roller coaster. And everyone says, hey, just hold on tight. You're in it for the long run. And the next slide will show one of the downfalls of that. And the final is this unicorn. It's an index strategy. And the greatest thing about it is once you put your money in, you're locked in wherever it's at. When the market goes down, your money is protected. Now, when the market goes up, your account is going to go up. Now, if the market goes a full 30%, 40%, something ridiculous like that, you're not going to get the full amount. But once again, you're protected from the losses. And every single year, wherever you're at, you're going to be protected. So of these three blocks right here, which one do you think is the most valuable? And which one would you like more information about? And I hope you're thinking C, because if you are, I'm going to show you all about it. So right now we're going to show a picture, or not a picture, a diagram of two people. Two people both putting in $100,000. Now, the blue line is a hybrid index strategy following the S&P 500. And the red line is somebody actually in the S&P 500. And I want to note that the hybrid index strategy is following, it's not actually in the S&P 500. So they're going to start 1999. And what immediately starts happening is in the year 2000, we have the dot-com bubble. So the person with the money in the market starts losing it. And it takes them about 6 years to actually get back to where they started. And they can finally breathe again, that their money finally rejuvenated, because it went down almost 40%. So they finally had that break. Oh my gosh, not only did I get all my money back, but now it's going up. Now I have 112,000. Whew, this is amazing. But what happened in 2007, 2008? There's a housing bubble. And we're actually going to take a break from this right now. Now let's imagine it. Totally different scenario. Right now, let's say you're 63 years old. Why not? You have your $1 million nest egg. You've been just working your tail off. And you're going to retire in 5 months. Yeah, 5 months. You're going to retire and it's going to be amazing. You already got that travel trailer. You and your wife are going to go around, see all the grandkids. Just travel America. Do everything you wanted to do. I mean, you worked your tail off. Why wouldn't you? But then in a matter of 4 months, the market dropped 40%. Your knees were just cut right under you. So that $1 million you had is now $600,000. And you retired in 5 months isn't going to happen. You travel around America with your wife, going to visit all the grandkids, is not going to happen. You just lost 40%. And now you're scrambling. Now you're thinking, how am I going to make this up? And that sounds devastating. That sounds crazy. But it was a huge reality for so many Americans. Okay, so now we're going back to this scenario. So they finally got up to 112,000, and now they're dropped down, once again, 40%. So at the end of it, in 2012, they were only up $21,000. This is what happened for so many people. So that is the S&P 500. Now let's talk about the hybrid index strategy. Like I told you, when they put their money in, they're locked in. So that 100,000 is still 100,000, even though the market collapsed. And the greatest thing is in 2002, when the market starts going back up, well, guess what? They're going up. They didn't even take a hit. Now, they don't go up the full percent, but guess what? They're not taking any hits. And same thing in 2008 when the housing bubble happened. They're not taking any hits. So at the end of the 12 years, instead of only being up 22,000, now they're up 210,000. How powerful is that? And this is not smoke and mirrors. It's not magic, sorcery, and witchcraft. This is simple, easy numbers. And if you would like to see these numbers, please send me a message or an email or get with the person who got you on here because I have another PowerPoint I'd love to show you to break it down in super simple, easy numbers. So on the very bottom it says, it's not rocket science. Which one makes more sense? So are you for Team Blue or Team Red? So have you gained value so far? So far we've talked about what the problem is in America and we've showed some solutions. Now I'm going to talk to you about something slightly different. I'm going to show you our business side. But before I do that, I want to talk about something that you may or may not have known. So have you heard of baby boomers? Baby boomers were born anywhere from the 1946 to 1964. And there were 67 million of them between that time difference. Now, as you know, that baby boomers are, war trophies. Now, not only were there 67 million of them, but America has grown because of them. And people have found out that if they wanted their business to grow, they need to cater to the baby boomers. So in that time period, hospitals absolutely exploded. They started growing everywhere. Not only did that happen, but Gerber absolutely exploded. They finally got the name of Gerber in 1941, and then in the 50s just skyrocketed. And then Mattel was like, you know what can we do to get on this bandwagon? And in 1959, they decided, you know what, we're going to create the Barbie. Because now these baby boomers are little kids. We have the Barbie, we have G.I. Joe, this is going to happen. And then what happened in the 60s? How about 64? Ford did something absolutely amazing. They brought this wonderful man named Lee Iacocca. And he created a car that would withstand generations. This car is still emulated today. This is the 1964 Ford Mustang. And it is still one of the absolutely hottest cars. And it doesn't matter if you're a kid, or if you're 16, in your 20s, in your 30s, or even in your 70s. I see so many of them around. And because it's so popular, they came up with a retro car. But then the baby boomers, they started settling down. They started having families. And because of that, Chrysler was on the verge of bankruptcy. Chrysler was in very bad crunch. And they decided, you know what? Lee Iacocca, we need him again. Not only did he shape the culture in 1964, but he can help us out and bring Chrysler around like he did for Ford. And can you guess what he did for Chrysler? He created the minivan. Because at that time, the baby boomers were having kids. And so it's shown that every single step of the way, if companies want to make money, they're going to follow the baby boomers. Well, right now, every single day, there are 10,000 baby boomers retiring. 10,000. So right now is the time to help them with the retirement, because people are afraid of the next bubble. And there's a lot of chatter of the next bubble being the student loan bubble. Is it going to happen? Is it not? Well, that's not what this is about right now. But the thing is, every single day, there are baby boomers retiring. Oh, let's go back. So because of that, that creates that dramatic market need. Now here at DFIS Financial, we always thought that keeping it simple is the easiest way possible. So our model is incredibly simple and effective. And I'm going to show you in just a second about our compensation plan. And you already know that right now is the best economic timing because it is necessary, because we help the people that absolutely need it the most. And I can't even talk about how amazing our leadership is in this company. Our CEO, Douglas Zuniga, has the biggest heart and the biggest reason why DFIS Financial is in existence. Not even why it's in existence, but why it's named DFIS. So I'm going to show you a simple plan of a simple glimpse of our compensation plan. Now, let's just say, hypothetically, you go out and you're going to help one client save $300 a month. That's it, $300. $300 towards their future to help them out, to help their family. And then on top of that, you're also going to help somebody else roll $50,000 into an index annuity plan. Now, right now, you're just a referral partner. Sorry, I told you I'm not good with the vocab. And what a referral partner means is, let's say you were the referral partner working with me. Going out, selling people, talking to people, doing all that kind of work was not in your design. That's not your plan. That's not your why. But you know people who can use help. You know people who could use help either getting out of debt, people who have money don't know what to do with it, people who are just unclear with that cloudy financial future. Well, that's easy. All you do is give me a list of numbers. That's it. You don't even have to talk to them. You give me a list of numbers, and I do the rest of the work. And because of that, I'm going to get one person to save $300 a month, another person, show them what they currently have, how that looks in a different vehicle, how that looks with a new pair of shoes, how that can help them greater. And what's going to happen is you and I are going to split that 50% with whatever your percentage is. And so by doing that, all you did was give me a list of names and numbers, and I do that for you. That's it. 2 simple people I help every single month. And you're going to get $1,100 or $1,173 in your pocket every single month. That's $14,000 a year. It's not much, but how amazing is that? All you did was give me a list. Well, let's say you give me a list, you've been doing this for quite a while, and you're like, you know what, Andrew, I could do this myself. So not only am I going to do this myself, but I'm going to get a couple ranks, I'm going to be a senior associate. And I'm going to help the same 2 people every single month. And by doing that, now you're going to get $3,350 every single month, which will be $40,000 a year. How amazing is that? And then after you've been doing that for a while, you've been absolutely killing it. You've been helping so many people, you become a regional marketing director. And you're going to help the same 2 people. Now, as you notice, your compensation is a whole lot higher. And not only is your compensation higher, but you have a team. You have 4 people doing the same, helping the same 2 people. And by doing so, you're going to get an override. And so we decided we're going to mirror the real estate module. And what brokers do is, if you get started in real estate, you're going to find yourself the best broker to help you out, to help grow you, and help mold you. And that broker is going to take you for absolutely nothing and just bring you up as high as they can. And then once you believe you hit your glass ceiling, that's when you decide to go out on your own. You're going to become a broker. And then you become competition. Well, we decided instead of that, we're going to do something entirely different. But we still kept the whole broker mentality. So as you bring people up, you're going to get an override off of them. And once again, this is simple math. This is not a pyramid scheme. And by doing that, raising the people, growing them, growing leaders, and doing work yourself, you're going to get $12,000 a month. And it could be $153,000 a year. How amazing is that? But like I said, going out there, taking people's financial futures in your hands right off the bat probably isn't for everybody. But how many people do you know? How many people do you know that could absolutely use help, use clarity, or just a sounding board? Well, that's what the referral partners have. So this is the opportunity of a lifetime, a way for you to achieve your dreams. With whatever it could be. It could be all this flashy stuff, or it could be incredibly simple. Maybe you want to live in a van down by the river. But what is next? So if you remember those simple 6 steps for your healthy financial future or financial habits, well, what were they? Get with the person who brought you on here today. and just say, hey, I would love to sit down for a complimentary view. By doing that, you're not obligated into anything. And if you like that a lot, and you're like, do you know what? I know a lot of people that could use help. Maybe I could be a referral partner. Do you know what? I'll give you a list of people. What's the worst that can happen? Or maybe a hard charger, and you want to just be a part-time representative. Right now, when I'm lazy, when I do lazy days, I work 9 hours a day. Well, my normal days are about 11 hours and sometimes 13. So I'm an incredibly busy person, but I still have time to do this because I do it part-time. Or if you're a hard charger, like one of my greatest mentors, Carlos Salgado, you're doing this full-time and you're shaking, moving, and producing. But remember, you got to build up to that. So give me a second and switch back to my picture. It'll take just a little bit. All right, and there we go. So quick, short, to the point, but that's the problem. There's my hands with America. There's a solution for it, and then if you feel like it's for you, there's a compensation plan or how to get involved with our opportunity. So I absolutely hope all you got something tonight, all you learned something, because my goal is to give value. And if you did, I hope you did. But once again, please get with the person that brought you on and thank them. I hope you had a great time. Thank you so much for being on. Have a wonderful night.